You won't believe what's been swept under the rug by the world's most powerful militaries. From secret experiments in underground bases to bizarre encounters with UFOs, some stories are so insane they sound like science fiction. But these are real, and they've been kept hidden for decades. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will change the way you see the military forever. This is not conspiracy. These are the top 10 real military secrets they never wanted you to know. At number 10 is the bizarre case of Operation Sea Spray. Back in 1950, without warning or consent, the U.S. Navy released a bacteria called Serratia marcescens into the skies over San Francisco. Their goal? To test the city's vulnerability to biological warfare. For 6 days, they sprayed the population to see how far and wide the bacteria would spread. The government insisted the bacteria was harmless. But soon after, hospitals began seeing an unusual spike in infections, and one man even died. His family was never told the truth until years later. The military quietly admitted the experiment decades later, casually brushing off the idea that they had turned an entire city into unwitting lab rats. Imagine walking through your neighborhood while a secret germ cloud floats overhead, courtesy of your own government. This was just the beginning. Coming in at number 9 is the Pentagon's obsession with psychic soldiers. That's right, they actually tried to weaponize the human mind. Under programs like Project Stargate and the infamous MK Ultra, the military funded research into remote viewing, mind control, and telepathy. People were trained to see distant places using only their thoughts, and to extract intelligence from the ether. While some of it was pseudoscience, classified documents revealed shocking results, like one subject describing the layout of a top-secret Soviet base in vivid detail, later confirmed by satellite images. These experiments were shut down publicly, but many believe they never really stopped. If the government was pouring millions into unlocking psychic powers, what else have they tapped into? At number 8 we land in the frozen wastelands of Greenland. In 1959, the US built Camp Century, a hidden military base buried deep under the ice. Officially, it was just a research station. Unofficially, it was home to Project Iceworm, a covert operation to install nuclear missiles under the Arctic, aimed directly at the Soviet Union. The plan was to build a web of tunnels stretching 2,500 miles, where nukes could be moved undetected. The project was abandoned when they realized the ice sheet was too unstable, but here's the kicker: they left radioactive waste behind. Decades later, melting ice threatens to unearth this forgotten toxic time bomb. The truth: the base was a silent weapon during the Cold War, and a looming disaster today. Number 7 takes us into the shadows of Area 51. You've heard the name, maybe even seen memes about it, but the real story goes way deeper than aliens. Area 51 was the birthplace of stealth technology, the U-2 spy plane, and countless other classified aircraft. For years, the government denied its existence entirely. Pilots who worked there were sworn to secrecy, their identities hidden even from their families. One engineer, Bob Lazar, famously claimed he worked on reverse-engineered alien spacecraft at a site connected to Area 51. The government branded him a fraud, yet much of what he said about the base was later confirmed to be accurate. While we still don't know everything, one thing's clear: something extraordinary happened in those desert hangars. Sliding into number 6 is the chilling reality of the lost nuclear bombs. Since the dawn of the Cold War, at least 6 atomic bombs have gone missing, and were never recovered. They're called broken arrows, and the most terrifying case happened in 1966, off the coast of Spain. A US B-52 bomber collided with a refueling plane mid-air, scattering 4 hydrogen bombs. 3 were found on land. The 4th it plunged into the Mediterranean Sea. It took nearly 3 months and a secret Navy recovery mission to find it, but some claim the real bomb is still out there. Imagine an H-bomb lying at the bottom of the ocean, just waiting to be discovered. Or worse, already discovered by someone else. At number 5 is the horrifying truth behind Unit 731. While not American, this was Japan's top-secret biological warfare unit during World War II. Located in occupied China, Unit 731 conducted unspeakable experiments on civilians and prisoners of war. We're talking vivisections, frostbite tests, and deliberately infecting people with deadly diseases, all in the name of science. Here's the shocking part: after the war, the US granted immunity to many of the scientists in exchange for their research data. That's right. War criminals walked free because their grotesque findings were deemed valuable for future military applications. The victims forgotten by history. The lesson: not all secrets stay buried, and not all justice is served. Coming in at number 4 is the story of Operation Northwoods, a plan so wild, it's hard to believe it came from American generals. In the early 1960s, military leaders proposed staging fake terrorist attacks on US soil to justify an invasion of Cuba. These attacks included blowing up American ships, hijacking planes, and even staging the deaths of innocent citizens. The plan made it all the way to President Kennedy's desk. He rejected it. Shortly after, he was assassinated. While no direct link has ever been proven, the declassified documents paint a terrifying picture of how far governments are willing to go to manipulate public opinion. It's proof that sometimes, the real danger isn't outside our borders, it's behind closed doors. At number 3, we dive into the mystery of the Montauk Project. According to whistleblowers and declassified files, this Long Island base wasn't just a radar station, it was home to experiments in time travel, teleportation, and even mind control on children. One former participant, Preston Nichols, claimed he recovered suppressed memories of being part of the experiments. He described bizarre machinery, portals to other dimensions, and an event known as the Montauk Monster, a creature allegedly created during the experiments. While skeptics call it science fiction, many elements of the Montauk Project were eerily similar to what we later saw in shows like Stranger Things. Coincidence or a veiled glimpse into reality? At number 2 is the truth behind sonic and microwave weapons. In recent years, US diplomats in Cuba, China, and Russia reported a strange illness now called Havana syndrome. Symptoms include dizziness, memory loss, and intense pressure in the brain. Investigations suggest these could be the result of directed energy weapons, devices that can harm or disorient people without a trace. Documents from decades ago show the military had already experimented with similar tech. They even tested voice-to-skull devices that could beam sounds directly into a person's head. Think about it: invisible weapons, capable of disabling someone from a distance, with no one seeing a thing. That's not the future, that's now. And finally, at number 1, we reach the most chilling secret of all, Project Sunshine. In the 1950s, the US government wanted to understand the effects of nuclear fallout on the human body. So they did something unthinkable. They stole the remains of dead infants from around the world, without their families' permission, and used the bones in radiation experiments. Hundreds of corpses were secretly shipped to labs, dissected, and analyzed. When the story broke years later, it caused global outrage. The government claimed it was for the greater good. But the families were left to grieve again, realizing their children's remains had been treated like lab samples. It's a heartbreaking reminder that even in peacetime, some lines are crossed in the name of defense. So what do all these secrets have in common? They show that the military, any military, is capable of operating in the shadows, far from public scrutiny. What they do in the name of security, advancement, or warfare often defies logic, ethics, and sometimes even the laws of nature. And while some of these stories have been exposed, there are likely hundreds more we still don't know about. But now you do. You've seen just a glimpse behind the curtain, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The question is, what else is out there, still hidden in plain sight? If you thought this list was wild, wait until you see the classified technologies they're using today. We're talking invisibility cloaks, AI soldiers, and drone swarms with minds of their own. But that's a story for another video. Until then, stay curious, stay questioning, and remember, the truth is never as simple as they want you to believe. Catch you in the next one.